Hey everyone, it's Kenton Becker, American Pacific Mortgage. I'm here with the second part video to the most common buyer objections. As I was talking this through and thinking this through, this ended up being a lot more content in my mind than just 1 week would kind of allow. This is part number 2. If you missed part number 1, buyer objections, go back and watch it from last week, or I'll put the link somewhere up here. But this is part 2 where we're gonna kind of finish up my thoughts on the most common buyer objections. Plus, I also have kind of just some thoughts of what typical buyers thought process goes through. All right, and then the next one, it has to do with what I just talked about last week, which is interest rates. I hear a lot of times from buyer objections that I want to wait until rates go down. And as I've said, it's better to marry the home price and date the interest rate. You see, interest rates can always change. Interest rates are going up, they're going down. And if you're in a home, your interest rate is locked in. That means if interest rates go up, you don't have to worry about it. You're locked into your rate. But if interest rates go down, you can always call up your lender and say, hey, I'd like to refinance my rate to the lower rate that's offered today. The one thing you can't change though is your home price. Whatever you buy the home for, you can't change it, you can't adjust it. It's not going away. So you want to make sure that you get the right home price, and then whatever the rate does in the future, you can always change to that better rate down the road, rather than waiting until that rate becomes available and then again paying an extra $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 for the home. Great, you got a lower rate, but you just paid $50,000 more for the home. So waiting just for the rates to go down is again only going to cost you more money. Now I want to read something that I saw on social media a while back. Fully admit that I just saw this, I didn't create this, but I thought this is so perfect to what I have heard many clients actually tell me, and I've seen it happen. 2022, I'm gonna wait for the market to cool down. We all remember 2022, the market was crazy hot, and probably the number one buyer objection that I heard in 2022 was, I'm gonna wait for the market to cool down a little bit. It's just too crazy, too hot, right? Okay, 2023, I'm gonna wait for rates to come down. Again, we all remember last year, rates got kind of crazy. They got up into the 7s, even 8s. Now they've cooled down. Actually, now they're in the 6s. I've even had some rates in the 5s. I've had down payment assistance rates in the low 7s now. But yet, in 2023, the biggest objection was, I'm gonna wait for rates to come down, okay? Now this year, 2024, I'm already hearing these objections. I'm gonna wait for the market to crash. They feel like the market's gonna crash. Market is not going to crash. If we didn't see a market crash when interest rates got up to 8%, we're not gonna see a market crash when interest rates are coming down. That's not gonna happen. Market is based on supply and demand. And as more buyers are pent up in that demand and interest rates come down to 6%, 5%, 4%, that's going to drive more buyers into the market. With more buyers in the market, home prices go up. 2025 is going to be, I'm going to wait for the market to cool down. You see how this cycle goes? I'm going to wait for the market to cool down. I'm going to wait for interest rates to go down. I'm going to wait for the market to crash. Then when it doesn't crash, I'm going to wait for the market to cool down. I'm going to wait for interest rates to come down. It's just an endless cycle. And then in the meantime, 4 years goes by, 2 different landlords, and you've spent over $100,000 in rent over that last 4 years. That's what I got for you. You have maybe your own question, your own concern. Comment below, let me know. I'd love to hear it. You have a reason for waiting. There's nothing wrong with waiting. If you need to work on your credit, you need to work on your income or whatever it is. But some of these objections are just code for saying, I'm scared. Or code for saying, I don't understand what the steps are. Let's cut through the objections. Let's get to the real reason and become a homeowner. So thanks so much for joining me this week. I really appreciate it, and have a great week.